Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second to last week of the semester, week 15. This week, we're focusing on going from rough draft to final draft, and a big portion, if not the most important portion, now that you have your notes back from the rough draft, is the counter argument section. Now, your second main reason, or your second body paragraph section, follows the same structure as your first body paragraph section. So if you follow my notes that I gave on that section, along with your intro and context notes, you should be able to get through your second body paragraph section no problem. The counter argument, however, is a little bit different. So for this, you're taking the main argument from the other side that you used as the last part of your thesis statement, and you're breaking down why it's incorrect or incomplete. So the first two sources in this week's section of Blackboard, the first one being the Harvard University counter-argument for argumentative thesis writing source, not only breaks down each part minus one that is in the second source, but it allows you to see an example of what a paragraph in the counter-argument section might look like. So you start with the claim that the other side is making. Then you quote a piece of research or a source that you found from the counter-argument exactly, right? It's important that you do that because you want to represent the argument accurately from the other side. That way, when you break it down, it strengthens your argument and you're not manipulating the other side to try and make yourself look better by nefarious means. So you have the quote, the cited information from the other side. Then, rather than explain why your point is correct, you want to explain why their point is incorrect. Then, as the Brandeis source continues, you want to turn back to your own argument and point out why their broken or incorrect or incomplete argument is not as good as your researched argument. Okay? They call that the turn back in the Brandeis source. So these two parts, breaking down the other side, then turning back to your argument before moving on to another point that you break down, is going to be how you approach the counter-argument section. Right? You take a main point that the other side is making, give a couple quotes from research in which people are making examples or points within that main reason, and break down why it's incorrect. Ultimately, then turning back to your own argument and saying, my side is more thought out or complete. So the first two sources there are the Harvard and Brandeis counter-argument sources. Those will help you, especially with your discussion posts, because your discussion post this week is breaking down what your counter-argument is for your classmates. There's a couple questions that you have to answer there, with the last one being, has your counter-argument changed? And all I mean by that is, did you start with an initial point from the other side that you wanted to break down and then change it based on your research? So if you did, answer that. If not, you can just say, I stuck to my original counter argument and this is why. The other sources in this week's folder, proofreading, the Purdue University Online Writing Lab, both things that I made notes on for the rough draft quite a bit. Make sure that you're using the Purdue Online Writing Lab source to track your MLA formatting for in-text citations and your citations on the Works Cited page, because they will break down how to cite any of those sources, even primary sources or interview sources, comment sections, Reddit threads, things like that. The last source that I put here is the outline. A lot of the times in the rough draft, I made some notes that you just need to follow the outline structure about the order of things. We have the intro with your thesis, should be 4 to 5 sentences. Your context section, about half a page to 3/4 of a page. First main reason section, second main reason section, counter argument, and then your conclusion. Your conclusion should only be 2 or 3 sentences, restating your main points, your thesis, in different words, just indicating that you're wrapping everything up. Then you want to start your works cited page on the complete next page, right? So let's say you write 5.5 pages. You want to start your works cited page on page 7 with a works cited title, not bolded or underlined, just capitalized at the top of the 7th page, and your citations and hanging indents. The hanging indents are having the first line all the way left and each line after that indented. You also want to remove the extra spacing between those citations. So those are all the sources that we have for week 15. In week 16, we're just going to be doing a brief reflection as you hand in your final draft for the 13th. Please make sure that you hand in your final draft on time. I gave the latest possible due date so that I can grade with notes and get my grade submissions in, my final grade submissions in by the deadline that I have for that. So please make sure that you submit it on time and reach out with any questions in the meantime. You can always email if you have questions about the counter argument section or formatting. And also if you want to set up virtual office hours appointments during the first week of December. Now my other courses and my upper level courses have papers due as well, so I'll be doing conferences with them. So please just reach out so we can find a time that works best for our individual schedules virtually. As always, I can't wait to read your counter-argument stuff. I can't wait to read your final drafts. And again, don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. Look forward to seeing you all next week for our final week of the semester.